tried to speak with the government, we tried to speak with the players, we tried to speak with everybody, but they were just pushing us down. Then, after maybe 5 or 6 years, when we grew up and we became a better organization, we started a mini revolution, I would say like that. We indicated to people and we indicated to all media what is really happening in our town with our club. Jedinstvo is a club that was founded in 1937. So it's a club with a big reputation and a club with history. In that time it had its ups and downs, and today maybe is the worst situation ever. What we did, we wanted, because the club was founded by the people. The club was founded by the ordinary people in this town, by bakers, by lawyers, by really ordinary people. And what we did, we wanted to change the whole situation in club, so that people are those who are involved in club again, so that they can do something, that they can something change. We managed to do that after 7 or 8 years of fighting among them. What we did first when we came to the club, the situation in club was really bad, really bad. The situation in club now is really bad also, but when we came to the club, they have ruined everything. They have spent all the money of the club, all the money that the city gave to them. There was debts, and the worst thing that they did, that the only 3 players stayed in the club. So when we came there, it was just 3 players training themselves. It was horrible to see that, and if we go back 10 years, we were playing Europe, and we were the first club in Bosnia that went to European Championship from Bosnia. So something bad happened over there. In the short time, we managed to get back the players, and now we have over 100 players playing for our club. Mostly those are boys from 12 to 17 years. Everybody is doing a volunteering job. Nobody has money, nobody is paid, and we are managing to do some stuff. The best thing that for me, the best thing is that players are the kids from our town. Everybody is from our town and from our region. Our I would say, most valuable victory is that we even convinced few players that went to Austria, so that they migrated to Austria when they heard the situation about the club and that we are now there and our program and our project, they took their bags and came back to Bihać. I know that is not much. I know that bringing back 3 or 5 people to Bosnia is not something big, but if I manage to do that with my friends, imagine what would be if there is certain groups of people like us in other cities, for example in Sarajevo, in Prijedor, in Banja Luka, and everybody is doing that, then we would have maybe 100 kids returning back to Bosnia, 1,000 kids, and 10,000, maybe millions, who knows. The situation is still not good, but it's very, very better than it was. For example, we managed to convince and to speak with, I don't know if you know about him, his name is Safet Nadarević. He was captain of the national team of Bosnia, and when he heard the story what is happening, he came back from Turkey. He came back from Turkey, and he's training that kids, and of course he doesn't want any money, he doesn't want anything, he just wants that project lives. So The most bad thing in this club is that the politics ruined it and corruption ruined it. Our kids, for example, few of you were training in it, so I can recognize you. And some kid is training in that club from his, I don't know, 8 or 9 years. So he's training like his whole life. And when he's 18, when he needs to get a chance to be a part of the first team, to be a part of something, to make some difference in our city, they just put him in the shadow, and they bring some players and they do corruption with them. For example, they say to him, you'll have a salary 3,000 euros, but you will give us back 2,000 euros. And it's a win-win situation for the management and win situation for that average player, because at the end of the day he still gets his 1K. And we stopped that, and all the players who are now playing are our kids, and they said, okay, we know you don't have money, we know you don't have anything, we will play for free. That hurts us, because we know in what kind of situation are they. They are professional players, and they only know how to play football. They don't know economics, they don't know law, they don't know, and they have all families. And they need to feed their families, but they said, okay, you are good guys, you want to make some difference, we will play for free. So that is one of our big wins there. I don't know are there any questions for me? If you want to ask me something, I could speak about that club for days and don't stop, but I think I'll bother you.
Okay, I think I went from each team, as I told you. This is a real inspiring story, and because we know this is a recent story that Ernesto was suffering from lots of problems and still suffering, but at least there is someone who and mostly they are youth who have taken over the club, and they want now to make the club a success story. So each team should have some question, whether it's relevant to quality of life or relevant to values, relevant to migration, entrepreneurship. It covers lots of things. And as I said to Amir and to Kan'an and Bala, Abdullah, and so on who are with us, this is a place where it brings every type of people, religious, non-religious, politicians, poor people. So clubs usually can make stories, by the way. And I think the story of lots of clubs in Europe, it says about that. And also around the world. Lots of clubs have managed to bring people around and actually built unity around it. Okay, so Hamza, I think he has a question for you.
So what is your visualization? What is your goal at the end?
Of course, the primary goal is to put the club on firm ground and eventually to reach the first division of Bosnia. We are now currently in second division, but all of our projects.
Used to be in the first division.
Yes, we used to play Europe, but the most of our project is based on that youth and the boys from this town can do that, so that they should be the power, they should be that motor that will do that. Not just the players, not just the 11 players who will play football and win, but every local connection, everything. So, for example, Kenan and their council of students, they engaged in the club. They are helping the fans who are mostly from 17 to 35 maybe. They are helping. So that's the at the end of the story, because sometimes we will win, sometimes we will lose. That's normal. Maybe we'll go the league down, maybe we'll go the league up. But the primary object of the club is that brings community back on the good and healthy stand, so that people of this town have something to be proud of. And eventually to make a legacy. For example, if I do something, I will tell that to my son, and eventually he will say, okay, if my dad could do that, maybe I can do that. And if they manage to do that, all of us together, if he managed to do that, all of us will have part in our hearts, and we can say, I managed to help that club to be up again. So that's the primary object.
Discovering the talent, or let's say the player who have a talent in certain games, whether football or soccer or whatever, basketball, depends on the club. How, as a club, how you discover this talent, and from which age the club are aiming to discover this talent? Like, for example, is there a way that there is a communication between the club and the schools, or if there is a person could represent like ambassador of the club discovering this talent from villages or from small town, and they discover where is the 10 or 12 years old a good player? Is there a strategy from the club?
Yes, the problem was that the primary management of club, they didn't want to hear anything about that. They went on the fast solution. What is the fast solution in Bosnia? In Bosnia, anything can be paid. So they did, for example, one game in Bosnia cost 30K to fix it. And their thinking is, okay, why should I invest in that kid and wait for years for him to become some player? I can buy this game for 30,000 marks. And they did that. And when we had enough points, then they say, okay, now we can sell games and make easy money. And they did that. And the other thing that was very bad, infrastructure is terrible. Now we have players who are talented, but in football talent is not everything. Hard work is everything. For example, the player that I was speaking about, Sasha Nedarevic, he had none talent. He was the clumsiest guy on the field. But what he did hard work. For example, when everybody went after the game to the city to celebrate with girls, he went and he trained and trained and trained. 10 years after that, he signed a millionaire contract in Turkey, and he became practically a legend, and everybody else stuck with their 35 years and none on bank account. What we are trying to do and what we established now, like I said, now we have 100 kids training for us, for our club, but the problem is infrastructure. The field is very bad, and only thing that can develop from that is injury. He can broke his ankle or something. That's the problem. We made a deal with military. They gave us their fields, so we are training there. From next week, we are starting to go to schools. We agreed with, I don't know how to translate it in English, Katolički školski center. It's a school, Catholic center, and in the school we will present about our club, and we will get potential members. From now, we have maybe 7 or 8. I'm not a football expert, so I'm not that high. But our trainers, like they said, we have maybe 3 or 4 talents that are really good, and they are kids about 11 years. But the problem is they now need that hard work, and we cannot in this moment provide them that because we have no infrastructure. We had like the main ground and 3 or 4 grounds that were training, and the city had some kind of project that they will put reflectors, grass and everything, and they built it all up and stopped. So we are left now on one ground. And that's the problem when you have 100 kids, they need to train on that main field, and you need to play games in that main field. So basically, that is our main problem now, and we are looking to form a scouting team that will go on our region and that will look for the talents. We agreed, we signed 3 players. One is from Kladuša, other one is from Buži, and the third one is from Prijedor. Those are kids from 17 years, and we provide them food and we provide them place to sleep. In return, they play for our club. Unfortunately, we do not have any money to give them, to pay them. We agree with them to play for free, and eventually, if there is some kind of money in the club, we will provide them something.
So we had like 3 visits of your club, and we heard about the story of the same situation that you had like in
56, yes.
56 years. Can you please tell it to these guys, to inspire them, to show them that the same situation is going on, and what did 14 guys this year?
In 1956, the club was in even worse situation than today, if it's possible to say like that. Nobody was there. All the structure, all the management, the city just give their hands up and they said, we are shutting down the club. And then came the 14 boys from 16. And those were Catholic boys, Serbian boys, Muslim boys, all mixed together. They were friends. And they said, okay, we will try to do something. 14 of them. So it's 11 on the field and 3 person on the bench. They even didn't have a reserve goalkeeper. 14 of them started to play for Jedinstvo in 1956. They didn't even have shirts. On that season, they won a championship from Bosnia, and from 11 from the first team, 6 of them made really huge careers. In that period, ex-Yugoslavia was a very good football area, and they made the careers in Hajduk, Partizan, Zagreb, that are really good clubs, were really good clubs in that period. And the same story we represent now, and the same story we told to those kids. Don't play for money, don't play for glory. Don't play like that. Play for yourself. You are kids, they are kids. In first team, they are 15 years old and playing now. And we told them, make talent of you. Build yourself. Do it for yourself, and eventually someone will notice you. You will go maybe not to Manchester United, but you will make something of you, and eventually hundreds of others will see idol in you. So I think, but the problem is our mentality here in our local. Everyone wants money, and everyone wants money fast. They don't look what can be in few years. For example, I told them, okay, we can pay you, but when you're 35, you're over, you're done. You cannot play football and you don't have school. What will you do then in your life? And they stopped and they think about that, and now the day after they came and said, okay, everybody will play for free until there's some money.
Okay.
So I think we managed to do something good.
Okay. We have 2 more questions from each team. Besides the voluntary team, do you have any other team would like to ask?
Quality of life,
Quality of life? Nothing?
values they have.
Values? Values you already asked.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Sinead.
Question. First of all, thank you for coming on the forum. I'm a member of Ethics and Values team, and we are. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Our project is started with betting shops. I have one question for you. Are you cooperate with some betting shops and sponsorships, and what is prevent? How
To stop that.
to stop it?
Okay, so That's a good question. In the last game, we played against a club called Čapljina. It's in Herzegovina, and their prime sponsor and logo
Yeah,
is,
Yes.
Yes, we saw that.
Premier betting shops. What kind of messages do they send to the people? Okay, they will give them money, and what
They'll-
will they do? If matches need to be fixed, okay, no problem, we'll fix that. We had the opportunity to close a deal with that, but we said no because we can get from them maybe 20 or 30 Ks. So it's a good money, but we'll spend that money in 3, 4, 5 or 6 months. And what do we have in return? We have all of our fans and all our community suspecting in us because we can fix matches with them. We play football, they put us in their schedule, and we can sell games, we can buy games. We don't want to do that. The former management did that, and that's why our tribunes are practically none of people go to see football, because in Bosnia there's also one thing about football called 3 for 3. For example, if you are playing against me, I say, okay, we don't have money, but let me win at my home, and when I go at your place, I'll let you win. For 6 years, I didn't miss any match away of jedinstvo.
MashaAllah.
For 6 years, there's practically every weekend there's away game. For 6 years, they were fixing matches. In that 6 years, I only saw one match that wasn't fixed. Imagine how is, and our geographic location is a bit strange. Every match is like 300 miles away from us in one direction. So I travel, and me and my friends, we travel, for example, 8 to 9 hours to see our club. And we come to the ground, we come to the stadium, and the player is walking by us, and he stood and, why? Why are you being idiots? You know it's fixed. But somehow in the deep of soul, we thought, maybe not, maybe not. And every match, 70 minutes, 1-0, go away. We even found a document with the stamps of clubs in 2009, because it involved was Jedinstvo, our club, and Čelik from Zenica. They put agreement on paper that they will win at their home and that we will win when we play in Bihać. And they put agreement, they put stamps, and they put everything like a contract. We took that to the police, to everybody, but nobody wants to listen. That's the problem of our society. The corruption is on the highest level, and you don't
Maybe
know.
Amir, you can mention about the why you closed the bar, also, just quickly, and before we conclude.
For 20 years, the tribunes are built that underneath them is a lot of space. And for 20 years, they were speaking to us like the club doesn't have any rights to that, the club is not involved in that. And they put a disco club underneath it. And what was happening that every night there was a parties over there, and eventually a lot of people went out on the disco, go up on the stadium and do drugs, do alcohol and everything. When we came, they told us that belongs to us, so that is our right to do what we want. We closed everything what was underneath, but still we are waiting from our government that we are those who have rights, because anybody can say you can own that, you can own that. We want a paper that will say, okay, it's your rights to do everything you want with that. Yes.
If you manage to reconstruct that west side of stadium, and if there is a possibility to NGO have their office under the stadium, So club will have NGO on their side, and also we will have club on our side as a friendship or look for something back.
Yes, but it's a big project because it involves a lot of money. Because everything basically now is in very bad condition. But through some projects, I think it can be done, and it's a great opportunity from one side to the club, and to other side, it's a win-win situation for everybody, I think.
How do people react to the new changes?
On the first day, my phone didn't stop ringing, and the comments were, "You idiot, why? You are fool, somebody will kill you, they will do that, they will do that, why are you doing that to yourself, you finished school, you had opportunity to go on your own way." My mother was crying for days, to be honest, because the crime and corruption were at the highest level over there. And I even had the phone calls, they were threatening, they will do that, they will do that. Because when we came to that club, we saw the crime. And we reported the crime. But unfortunately, our government and our state is doing nothing about that. But it's been 2 months since we took over the club. In that 2 months, from now on, from every day, there are good reactions and people are seeing what we are doing. And they are, from now on, my Facebook and my phone, and people are coming to the club and they are telling us, bravo, bravo, and they are telling us that they are supporting us. For example, in last 2 months, through the club went over 1,000 people. We didn't have that much people watching football. That they just came to say thank you for bringing club back to the people's hands.
Including us.
Yes.
We're trying as much as we can to reduce the immigrations from, especially the youth, to other European country, and it's a part of our hope that we can create an event with highlighting this through musicians, through some music that will touch the heart for the youth that does not, like, you get everything in here, you don't need to go anywhere. Is there a chance that we can cooperate or sponsor this event at the club itself, so all the youth in the Bihać could attend that, and from that we hope that we can pass a message to them that the real treasure is in here on our side.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm from the mediation integration team, and my question would be, what was the main reason for you to stay here and do something for your hometown, and what was the reason for those players who came back to his country?
When I finished law school, I couldn't find a job. And I put my bags and I went to Holland. I was for 2 years in Holland. I had there a job, I had everything, I had good money, but that wasn't that. It just
Wow.
wasn't that. I came back, I don't know, I can't explain that.
In the blood.
It's the passion. For example, when I was this old, my grandfather took me to that game. And that was that. My blood became jedinstvo. Yes.
Wow.
So I came back from Holland, from Amsterdam, where I had everything basically, and I came back to do something good. Now, maybe some will say that I have some kind of intentions that I will eventually do this or do that, but time will show that. I can say now, no, I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy. The time will show. I don't want to brag or to say, no, I'm a good guy, please help me. I think the time will show, and the deals will show what are we doing currently.
Okay, I think I have to conclude unless you have really a question that you cannot
Sleep
well.
tonight.
But I would like to tell you that يعني usually we test people from experience, because I met more than 16,000 people I interviewed in my life. And always I say in Oman itself I interview more than 7,000 people. So one of the techniques I tested Amir of his commitment to what he's saying is that I told him to come after work. And even I told him to come quickly, right? We met during, Amir, you work from which time to which time? In the law firm?
From 7 to 4. I'm 16.
Just to tell you, and this is how much he's committed. He's committed to get any help for his club at any time, and including the weekend, of course.
And then he came a meeting with us from 4:30 at that day to 6:30.
And
Without
I
having
traveled
lunch.
from Tazin to be had.
And Amir, by the way, he was what you call it?
Motorcycle.
Scooter. Okay, just for your information, yes. Okay. All of them is yours, and for that we need to support them by all the means. And I think this can be a success story for all of you. All the teams can work with Amir and with us in this project, inshallah. Thank you very much.
I don't say that we will succeed. I don't say that our story is right. But at least at the end of everything, I can say to myself, I tried. Not just me and my friends. We tried to do something that we thought is good, and we tried to help club and the youth in this town. So that's at the end of the story. That's the main thing that pulled us in the sky.
You can do it.
Surprise.
I am the team leader, like my sisters Zineta and Hamza, and team mentor is Zineta's assistant. I'm sorry. So there are all our pictures. The next slide. Our team we are researching for the problem of the betting shops in our area. We are trying to find what are the reasons, some of them. So the first is we have found that they want easy ways or some money. And also our youth have no choices, so they are going to bet shops to wasting their time, so something like that. So also our reasons are they are going into the betting shops with their parents, so they have seen that from their parents, also they would do the same. And so what we have done about it, so we have do some interviews, researching, and something like that. So the next step is what we have found about that. Our bettings in our area have earned of our youth $500 million current. So our jobless youth give the betting shops $500 million. So in Onasana Campus we have 2,021 betting shops. So this is not enough implemented in our law. Probably, and it all comes to our very bad final financial situation. So, also I have forgotten to say that Bosnia and Herzegovina is the top country by number of betting shops.
Comparing to the
number of
population and size.
شوفي الخريطة فيها.
حنشوف الخريطة وتفهمين.
And red ones are the betting shops, and the green ones are schools. So we can see all around.
Imagine.
مال سراييفو أدمر. سراييفو بعد أدمر وايد.
All around our schools are betting shops. So when our children go
This is
to
from Google, huh?
schools, they just
These
can
are.
see the betting shops, and that is very beneficial. Do you understand what is betting, what is school?
Yes, the school is
Great.
Less than the betting shops.
This is another school.
It's really shocking.
And this is only center of Bihać. And some of bettings in this map are missing because they are protected and we couldn't find on the internet where they are. But when we go in the central city, we saw that they are bettings, but we can't find it on.
So in reality, the betting shops are even more than what you can see in this map.
Sometimes there are also not official shops. يعني they are inside supermarket. I don't think this covers supermarkets also, right?
No.
يعني large market, every hypermarket it have inside it a betting shop. Yeah. 2 or 3 بعد. يعني official and unofficial there is also. And this is in Sarajevo. شوف Sarajevo.
This is Sarajevo, whole city. This is whole city of Sarajevo, and there are bettings and green one schools.
هم they target.
Here we have some little interviews here.
We need
Can we, this young man is young boy how he go to betting. And this is some we watched some guy.
قلت لهم عندهم ترى ولا من كثرة بس يعني انترس يعني عودي عندهم كنا الوان.
يا هم منزلين عندك؟
Give me your flash. Continue and then you come back. Continue, then you can come back.
No, related to this one.
Okay, everything is related to that.
Yes, yes.
Also here. So this is something about our Bosnians. We have done.
Guys, can we have your attention?
About first question, we have heard that we have 62% just high school educated people, and all about was between 18 and 25 years, so that is the young people. And something we, yes, 17% of them are unemployed people. And what is the paradox of them? They are spending 76% of them are spending 10 times per week on betting shops. So they are unemployed. They are giving their money in bet shops. So that is very terrible. And 42% of them are minors. So these are minors. They are which see that they are every day in betting shops. So this is maybe problem with law. Or
What is it? 42% is what?
minors, which are daily in betting shops.
Okay.
Younger than 18.
Younger than
Juniors.
18. Okay.
And in our second question, were the question, do you gamble? So 67% said yes, I gamble. So they are all negative things. And positive things we have is 90% of them on the question is gambling problem, saying yes, this is problem. And 87% of them don't want to let their children or their sisters into the gambling profession. Next one. How did the project go on? We say that the road says everything. Okay, this is just our way how it all goes. It's inspiration, production, researching, workshops, questionnaire, survey, meetings, experienced too. Our mentors has a lot of experience with them, interviews, and lots of inspiration. So we can now hear our interview.
Last one.
There is mouse. I think you can use it.
No, this is heroes. الأشواق هذا. تكبير الماوس. ها؟ سوري وين الماوس؟ الماوس وين؟ تغير.
This belongs to Yasmin, not me.
سكيت ال
Now Yasmin.
Did you find the film now?
I am friends. So I see my friends. They live in betting shops. They spend all their money on gambling. Some of them went there with their fathers. They are third or fourth class. It is so sad. I don't want to be part of them ever.
Allah.
This young boy is touch us in our heart, or when we talking something about our project, and he says, I saw my friends every day they are going to that weddings, and he's fifth year of sixth year of primary school, and he says, I see
And
my
about
friends.
11 years old, 11, 12 years old.
Yeah. And he says that he saw his friends, which is third and second class, who they go there to fun. So I have one more model. I want to say about one guy from Bihać. He started the gamble with 11 years and gambled 7 years. And,
Selma, better use the microphone. It's more clearer for us. Thank you.
So that guy told me that he have a lot of money and so he don't know where to spend it. Then their friends told